Hey guys, this is our M1 carbine that we fired the other day in a previous video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It was fun to shoot this gun. This gun's a lot of fun. Now to tell you the truth, I've already cleaned this gun, so this is not we're not going to actually clean it. But for years I didn't know how to clean this gun, honestly, and there wasn't a lot when I first got it. There wasn't a lot of internet and YouTube and all that going on. So for years I just cleaned the barrel and I sprayed the bolt down and wiped it up as best I could. But that's really not sufficient. So I thought I'd show you guys how to break it down for a good cleaning. And let's get started. Set that aside. First we're going to drop our magazine. Magazine release is right here. This is the safety. We're going to cock the bolt and put it on safe. Straight up and down, vertical is safe. This way, sideways is fire. I like to think of it as the bullet traveling out the barrel, and that way I don't get them mixed up. But we're going to put it on safe. And we're going to come right up here to the barrel band. There's a screw right here. Well, first thing, we need to turn it over and get our sling off. And there's a snap. It just snaps on and off. So let's just take that off and set it right there. Okay, let's address this screw in our barrel band here. Make sure I'm in frame. And we'll get our good fitting screwdriver. Hopefully, yeah. We'll remove this screw. Put it in our magnetic tray. Okay, this gun has it's got a retaining spring right here that snaps into the barrel band, as you can see. You have to depress that, slip your barrel band up over it, and then it'll just slide right off the front. At this point you can grab your hand guard. It slips in under here and is retained by the barrel band on this end. You can just remove your hand guard, and you can take the barreled action out of the gun. Setting your stock aside, first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove this trigger guard. Or this, not the trigger guard, but the trigger assembly. The way we're going to do that is it's got a pin right here. You can see it coming through the other side. We're going to raise up on that pin with our finger, and we're going to get our thumb and forefinger and just pull it right out. We're going to take our non-marring hammer at this point. We're going to tap on this right here until it comes off. I like to know the way things go together. That's what's interesting to me about guns, is how they fit together and everything functions. You see these slots right here? They go right in here. They just made up right there to those two slots. And those two tabs made up. And that plus the pin, that's what retains the trigger assembly. Now I don't clean too much on this trigger assembly. What I do is I don't take it apart at all. You can take your spray cleaner and your Q-tips and get down here. You can like put it on fire and pull the trigger and ease that hammer forward with your finger. Never let your hammer fly forward. You can clean all down in that area there with your Q-tips and your spray. You can get a good clean on it without taking it apart. I don't like to take the triggers apart. And this is your magazine release. See how that works. Magazine goes in here. Magazine is retained in here, and when you magazine release, it falls right out. Okay, we'll set that aside and move on here. All right, we've got the recoil spring, and there's a recoil spring guide rod here that has to be removed. The way you do that is you pull back on it. You sure want to hold on to it because it's under a lot of spring tension. You just let it come forward. This is your spring, and that's your rod. And it just goes in there just like that. Now what it does here is there's a hole right here. Get a flashlight where you can see good. There's a hole right there that spring sits in, and there's another hole right there where the other end goes. Okay, let's remove our action bar. There's a slot right here, and there's a tab right there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I can. You have to line those up. Sometimes it can be a little bit difficult. But when you hit the magic spot, it just comes right off. As you can see, it's your action bar. This point your bolt rides in this channel right here. The lug rides up and down in that channel and locks like that. Locks in like that. You can just tilt your bolt up, and it'll come right off. Now your bolt has a free-floating firing pin in it, kind of like your SKS rifles, some of your Russian rifles. At this point, you can take your bore snake and clean from this end, or I just take a cleaning rod and clean from the muzzle end. You just have to be careful of your crown, not damage your crown. People has been cleaning from that muzzle end forever. It's just become taboo here in the last few years. You just have to be responsible enough to not go bashing nothing into the crown of your rifle. Okay, let's put it back together, because the bolt's going to drop in. Just have to be patient, not force anything. There it is right there. See, it's in its keyway. It's traveling in its channel there, and then it's locking in. Okay, let's turn it over, and at this point let's bring it back and see if we can get our action bar back on. Just like that. You just line that tab up with that slot. It fits in really nice. Okay, let's get our guide rod spring, our recoil spring, and our recoil guide rod back in action here. You want to be careful and not bend this. Careful with feeding it down in there. Okay, at this point it's captured, and we're gonna see if we can get it in the hole. There it is right there. It just snapped in its hole. So everything's good now. As you can see, it's functioning really well. Okay, let's get our trigger assembly back on. Line up our slots with our tabs here. Okay. We got that lined up. We want to take our non-marring hammer, tap it into place, get it lined up real nice. Then we're going to put our pin back in. Drop right in. Okay. We're in good shape. We want to reach and get our stock. Reinstall our barrel action into our stock. We want to take our hand guard, put the tab of our hand guard up here. And we're going to have to there, snapped into place. Our barrel band. All we have to do now is we got to tighten this screw back. We got to reinstall this screw and tighten it up. That should be sufficient. We're going to flip our rifle over. Reattach our sling. We're good to go. Oh, we need to function test our rifle. Insert the magazine. Push the magazine release. Make sure it ejects. With the safety being engaged, pull the trigger and make sure nothing happens. Make sure the safety's working. Take the safety off, pull the trigger. Okay, guys. That's your disassembly of the M1 carbine for cleaning purposes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I appreciate y'all watching them. Please like and subscribe if you like them. If you want to leave a comment down below, that's fine too. If you have any questions, I'll try my best to answer them. I'm not a gun expert by no means, but I know a thing or two about them. I've owned this one for a very long time. Anyway, thank you guys for watching and stay tuned for the next video. Bye.